Why can't I take a Uber and you got a rental? I need to take a Uber and you got a rental and I need to take a Uber? The video, your girl is back in with a story time. If you're new to my channel, hey girl, hey. And if you're a returning subscriber, I don't even have to say anything because you know what's up, I know what's up, we know what's up, and that's on what? That's on what? That's on period. And Mary had a little lamb. As y'all can see by the time of the video, today we're gonna be talking about the time. I don't want to say I lost a 3-year relationship because it's just like, baby, I'm the prize. Like, no, but basically how a 3-year relationship ended, y'all. And it took me a while to do this story time. This happened like 3-4 years ago, and I was just like, Aisha, do you really want to do this story time? And I thought about it, and I was just like, I'm over the situation. I grew from it, I moved past it, so I'm ready to do this story time. And let me go ahead and give y'all a little disclaimer, because y'all know bitches be like, oh my gosh, she made a video about me, so she's still thinking about me. She's still... No, baby, no one's thinking about you. No one's worried about you. This is just a little disclaimer. I'm over the situation. Any feelings or anything I state in this story time, that's how I feel at the moment. At this present day, I don't feel any type of way about this situation, and that's just that, and I'm gonna stand on it. So yeah, y'all, let's go ahead and get into this video. So y'all already know, in order for any of my story time to make sense, I have to give y'all a little backstory, y'all. So this happened my junior year of college, and spring break was coming up. I don't remember who I originally wanted to go on like a vacation with, but me and one of my other friends, and I don't even remember this friend name, y'all. Like, I just don't remember. But me and her was supposed to go to Puerto Rico for spring break, and this was gonna be my first little international trip, y'all. I know Puerto Rico is U.S. territory, it's not international, but y'all, to me, like, when you ain't never been nowhere, like never been on a plane, like Puerto Rico was the first plane trip I ever took. Like, when you ain't never been nowhere, not used to nothing, like, baby, everything feel international. So if I mention or say Puerto Rico is international, to me, baby, to me, it's an international trip. At that time, that's what it was to me, because that was my first little vacation. So yeah, I'm real excited, and then boom, my plans got canceled. Y'all know how it is. Everybody ready to go until it's time to go. So whoever I was going with for spring break, Puerto Rico, she basically canceled on me and was like, I can't go because of blah, 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 blah. And y'all, she canceled on me like a month before spring break. So I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I was mad and I was desperate. Like, I don't remember exactly what happened, but I remember being so freaking desperate. Like, I remember I asked my mom, like, y'all, I was gonna do spring break with my mommy. Like, my mom, like the woman that birthed me, I came out of her vagina. I was gonna do spring break with her because I was so desperate. Like, I was just super duper desperate and fed up, and I just did not want to do spring break Miami. Y'all know, y'all already know, if you not new to this channel, like if you true to this and you not new to this, you already know what spring break Miami is. And y'all, it's just, I was just tired of spring break Miami, and I just wanted to do something new. And Puerto Rico was what I wanted to do, and then she canceled. So I remember asking my mom, I was like, Mom, do you have to go to work this weekend? I'll pay for I already paid for the room. All you have to do is get your flight. It'll just be a mommy and daughter type trip, because y'all, I was just trying to get out of Tallahassee. Like, I was desperate for spring break. But my mom ended up having to work, and all my spring break plans was canceled. And I had this one friend, and this is the particular person. This is the person that we're going to be talking about during the story time that I lost a friendship with. We're going to go ahead and call her Biscuit, y'all. Okay, we back in action. Yeah, y'all, so we going to call her Biscuit. So me and Biscuit, we was friends for, like I told y'all, 3 years before our friendship ended. I met her my freshman year at FAMU. I don't remember where we met at. We just, like, I don't know, y'all. When we met, I think we just instantly clicked. I believe we had a class together, and that's how we met, but don't quote me. I really don't remember, y'all. But me and her, we instantly clicked. We were good friends all the way up until my junior year. And me and her, I don't know what class we had together, but we had a class together. And one day after class, I just happened to stop by her car because we had both parked in gravel. And we just sitting there and we talking, and I'm just like, hey girl, what you doing for spring break? Just real casual type of talk, y'all. And she was like, oh girl, I'm going to Puerto Rico. And I was like, what, you going to Puerto Rico? Who you going to Puerto Rico with? Because my Puerto Rico's plans just got canceled, and I'm thirsty, like quench my throat. Like, who you going to Puerto Rico with? So she's like, oh, I'm going to Puerto Rico with this guy. We were in like a group, or I don't know, y'all. I think, don't quote me, y'all. I think she said they were like in a group or something together, or like an organization that like related to each other. And she basically said that he wanted to go to Puerto Rico, she wanted to go to Puerto Rico, and they both didn't have nobody to go with, so they just went. they just decided to go together. So I was just like, not to impose or anything, but is it okay if I go? Because y'all, I'm desperate and my plans had just got canceled. So she was like, oh yeah, that's cool, whatever, you can go. We had already booked the we already booked our flight, we already booked the Airbnb, like we already booked the rental, like everything is already set in stone. You can go in, we got an extra room. And I was just like, all right, well, me and you can sleep in one room, and then the guy, we don't really need to give him a name. We gonna call him Day Day. So, and she was like, I was like, Day Day can sleep in the other room, because I didn't really know Day Day, and she made it seem like that time she didn't really know Day Day. So that was the thing or whatever. And she was like, oh no, it's fine, you can get the extra room, like it's okay, I'll sleep with Day Day. And I'm just like, you sure? Like, you sure that ain't going on? Because like you said you don't really know him like that, and we friends, like you my bitch, like we could just, y'all get what I'm trying to say. Basically, I want to make sure I wasn't making her feel uncomfortable. Like, she's like, oh yeah, like you good, like everything is good, like we great. So after that, y'all, I went ahead and cash apped her the money for the hotel. Well, not hotel, the Airbnb. I might use those words interchangeably. If I say Airbnb, it's y'all know what I mean. If I say hotel, it's the Airbnb. So I sent her the money for the Airbnb. I sent her my portion of money for the rental, and I bought my flight. Like, I think I bought my flight within that same day, if not that same day. Was it the next day? I don't know, y'all, because remember, I already had a credit for Puerto Rico because I was originally supposed to be going. So everything was like booked in like minutes, like seconds, y'all. I booked everything, so we good to go. And then I think probably like that following week, my girl, we're gonna go ahead and give her a name. We're gonna call her Gravy. My friend Gravy hit me up, and this my bitch. Like, this my bitch to this day. Like, me and her, we still, I'm rocking, she rolling. This is my girl. So Gravy hit me, and she was like, hey Asia, what you doing for spring break? And I was like, oh, I'm going to Puerto Rico with Biscuit. And she was like, oh, who all going? And I was like, oh, this other guy that she's friends with, he's going. And she was like, oh, is it a couples trip or anything? I was like, oh no, girl, it's not a couples trip. It's just gonna be like a friend type of thing. Like, we gonna get to know him, and we all going to Puerto Rico. And she was like, could you ask Biscuit if I can go? Because I don't know what happened with her spring break plans, but somehow, some way, her spring break plans they were non-existent as well. So I was like, all right, I'll ask her. So I hit Biscuit. I was like, girl, Gravy said she want to go to Puerto Rico. Is it okay if she stay with us and she just like room with me, like me and her share a bed together? So she's like, all right, cool, that's cool or whatever. I'll add her to our group chat, because she had this whole this is very important, y'all. Biscuit is a very organized, dominant person. Like, the whole itinerary was all together. Like, everything was set out by the times, dates, like everything was already set in stone. And she also told us like what stuff to pay for. Like, we had excursions and everything already planned, and because we were just added to the trip, we had to basically, I didn't have to do everything that was on the itinerary if I didn't want to, but like, I didn't have a problem with anything that was on the itinerary, so I had already paid for that in advance as well. So she's like, yeah, tell Gravy she can come, tell Gravy she can come. Everything good. We great. So I'm like, Gravy girl, she said you can come. So, you know, Gravy's excited. Gravy start ordering her stuff, start doing her thing. And then I think like 2 days after that, Gravy hit me and was like, hey, I talked to my mom, and my mom don't really feel safe. Like, she don't really feel safe me going to Puerto Rico. Is there any way if I invite my boyfriend, she'll feel a little better if my boyfriend come? So I'm like, well, you know, like, the room not in my name, the room is in Biscuit name, so you know I'm gonna have to ask Biscuit. So I hit Biscuit, was like, Gravy said can her man come because she just feel unsafe. Like, her mom would feel safer if her man came. So Gravy was like, no, like, why she need a man to feel safe? Like, no, like, she can't, like, he can't come. Like, why he need to come? At that point, they just need to get their own Airbnb. And I was just like, all right, I'll let her know. But the reason why she wanted to like come with us in the first place, because she wanted to feel like safer. Y'all know what I'm saying. Y'all know what I mean. So boom, fast forward, later that day, I let Gravy know. I'm like, she said that you can come, but if your man comes, she basically said y'all gotta get your own spot. So Gravy is just like, all right, cool. Like, we'll try to find an Airbnb close to y'all. Can we still go half on a rental with y'all or whatever? Like, they still wanted to be included in our excursions and activities and things. They were just gonna get their own Airbnb. So that's cool or whatever. They paid their money for the rental or whatever, and they paid for all their excursions. And y'all, we good to go. Like, y'all, we good to go. Fast forward to the first day in Puerto Rico. My flight, Biscuit and Day Day, they were already there like a day before me, or they were already there a few hours before me. I arrived late. I don't know why, but my flight was like, I think my flight was like at 12 o'clock at night, if I'm not mistaken. My flight was really, really late. This was the first time that I should have just known, like, y'all, this was the first sign that she was switching up on me, basically. Originally, me and Gravy was supposed to be at the airport together, and we were supposed to wait for each other and Uber to the thing. But remember, once her boyfriend was supposed to come, y'all, that no longer existed. They were gonna get a Uber, well, not an Uber, a taxi to their Airbnb, and I was supposed to get a taxi to the Airbnb that Biscuit and Day Day was at. But I got in really, really late. I remember calling Biscuit and being like, hey, I'm at the airport. Like, I really didn't know what to do, y'all, because I told y'all this is my first trip. Like, this is my first time flying alone. So I was new to this, y'all. I did not know what to do at all. So I'm like, hey, is there any way you can take an Uber to come get me from the airport, and then we go back to the thing? I don't mind paying for the Uber or anything, because you just, like, I would feel more comfortable. I would feel more safe or whatever. And it was 12 o'clock at night. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. It was really late, but I'm just telling her, like, as a friend, I'll feel more comfortable. And if y'all see my last story times, please don't intertwine, like, please don't mix it too, because I know y'all thinking like, girl, like, in your last story time you was just hopping in random niggas' cars, and in this story time you scared to take an Uber at 12 o'clock by yourself. Like, y'all, don't do it. This is before that. That was much later in my college career when I started doing wild-ish like that. So yeah, so she's like, no, can't you just take a taxi and you just come here if you want? I'll just stay on the phone with you. Like, you could just stay on the phone with me, but I really don't feel comfortable. Basically she was saying she really didn't feel like coming to get me from the airport. So I'm like, all right, like, it's cool. She ain't want to come get me from the airport. So that night, it was really, really late. I got to the Airbnb. I went straight to bed. The next day was our day trip. I think we went to Culebra. We went to this, like, it was like a boat type of excursion thing. We went and we explored the island. Everything was good. Everything was Gucci. Culebra was good. The next day, we went to this place called Castillo de Maro, Castillo. I don't know, y'all. It's like these castles, and y'all, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Basically, we was exploring shit on the island, y'all. We went to this place called Castillo de Mario. If you from Puerto Rico, let me know what it is in the comment section below. I don't know. But basically, we went there and we were just exploring their culture and everything. Everything was good. The whole time we was there, me and Biscuit, me and Gravy were really together, and her boyfriend was together, and then Biscuit and Day Day, they were like together exploring the island. So I think it was like 2 hours into the maybe not 2 hours, maybe an hour into us exploring the island. Biscuit comes up to me and she's like, what are you doing? Like, we about to get in the Uber. Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, what you mean what I'm doing? She's like, well, we about to go because it probably was like 5 o'clock at the time, y'all, and she was like, oh, we got a reservation for 6 o'clock. Like, I set a reservation for this amount of people. Like, are y'all coming or not? And I had already told her prior to that. I was like, no, we had already ate. Like, we probably had already ate like at 4:30, and then she had a reservation set for 6. So we basically told her, oh no, we not going to the reservation. Y'all two can just go, and I'll just meet up with y'all. I'll just meet up with you later or whatever. And I want to say, I don't remember exactly where we went, like at 4:30 and 8. But Day Day and Biscuit, they ate with us. Like, honestly, they wasn't even hungry, but she was trying to like force me to go get something to eat with them. So I'm like, no, girl, I'm good. I don't really want to go, whatever. So she catched the attitude, and she was just like, I don't know where the fuck y'all going or what the fuck y'all doing, but me and Day Day, we about to go to our reservation. And she just stormed off. And me and Gravy boyfriend, we looking like, are you okay? Like, you this mad because we missing a reservation? Like, why are you so mad? Like, we not hungry. Like, y'all get what I'm saying? Like, at that point, I just would have been throwing away money, like, because I'm not hungry. So she got super duper mad about that. So I'm like, all right, it is what it is. Like, it is what it is. And later that night, I remember Gravy and her boyfriend, they end up going to Ruth Chris. And y'all, I didn't eat nothing that night. Like, I ate my dreams that night. Like, that's basically what I ate. I had dreams for dinner. Like, I didn't eat anything that night because I didn't have nobody to go with me because Day Day and Biscuit had already ate, and then, you know, Gravy and her man had went to with Chris. That happened, and I really wasn't tripping at this point. I'm just like, all right, you ain't want to come get me from the airport, but it's cool. Like, I had already peeped that she was switching up, but I didn't really give her a reason to, so I was just kind of overlooking it. And like I said, y'all, when I'm on vacation, I really overlook a lot of things. If y'all know about my last story time, shit be popping off and shit be happening, but in the moments, I be overlooking it just so I don't kill the vibe. I don't like killing the vibe. So I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna overlook it. So this is day 3 in Puerto Rico. This day we had another excursion plan. I think we went to El Yanique Rank. Y'all, if you from Puerto Rico, please correct me. I don't know the name of this stuff. Or if you ever been to Puerto Rico, I think it's called El Yanique Rain Tour Forest. I don't know, y'all. We went on this little tour thing. Everything was good with the tour, but when we woke up that morning, I remember what's her name? Gravy. I remember Gravy and her man being at the hotel or whatever, and I was trying to look cute that day. I remember I couldn't eat breakfast. I don't know if I woke up late or if I was just beating my face for too long, or I don't know what's going on, but everybody else had already ate breakfast, and I really didn't have time to eat breakfast. I basically didn't have time to do what I needed to do, so I hopped in the rental. We went directly to our El Nico, our little rainforest tour, and remind you, y'all, it's an hour and 30 minutes away. We do the rainforest tour. Everything is good with that. Our tour person, he was super duper nice. Like, the experience was like a 10 out of 10, y'all. It was bomb. I think that lasted for about 4 to 5 hours, and mind y'all, I didn't eat anything, so I'm super duper hungry, and everybody else in the group ate. Gravy ate, Biscuit ate, Day ate, Gravy's boyfriend ate. Like, everybody ate but me. So when we got back in the rental car and we were on our way back to San Juan, I hit Biscuit, because Biscuit is a designated driver. Like, the rental and everything is in her name, y'all. She's basically in control. She planned the whole trip or whatever. So I hit her, and I was like, hey, when we get close back by the Airbnb, because I know it was like little fast food spots by the place. And I knew we had a dinner reservation for that night, so I didn't want to eat nothing heavy. I was just like, hey, girl, let me know when we get back by the Airbnb, because, like, I need to get something to eat. Just stop by somewhere. And she was like, what do you want? Like, what you want to eat? I was like, it literally don't matter. Like, if this is McDonald's, Burger King's, Wendy's, like y'all, I don't know if they have a Chick-fil-A in Puerto Rico, but if they do, it didn't matter. Like, I just wanted something to eat. Like, I just wanted something in my stomach. So I told her that or whatever, and she was like, all right, I'll let you know, and I go to sleep. So I'm sleeping, y'all. I'm having a good old nap, because I told y'all the rainforest tour, like, it wore me out. Like, I'm sleeping good, y'all. I'm sleeping. Probably like an hour and like 15 minutes later, y'all, I wake up out my sleep, and when I say I'm sleep, like, I'm in the back sleep, head leaned over, y'all. I'm slumped. So I wake up out my sleep like this. I wake up and I'm looking out the window, and I'm looking, and y'all, we like 5 minutes from the Airbnb. So I hit Biscuit, and I'm like, Biscuit, didn't I tell you? Like, basically, y'all, we about to pull into the Airbnb. Like, we around the corner from the Airbnb. So I look, and I'm like, Biscuit, didn't I tell you to wake me up, like, once we get close by the Airbnb so I can get something to eat? So, y'all, she got an attitude. She's like, well, you ain't really tell me what you want to get. Like, where you want me to stop at? Excuse me?
Girl, what the fuck is you talking about?
I told you it didn't matter. So she got an attitude or whatever. She was like, well, you ain't really tell me, like, what you want, like, what you want to eat, like, what you want to eat. I said, literally anything, like, anything. So there was a Wendy's. I think there was a Wendy's, like, on the side of the road. I was just like, just pull up the Wendy's or whatever. So I go inside of Wendy's or whatever. I order my food. I come back to the car to sit down. When I get back in the car, she looks at me, and she was like, so you think we finna just wait here while you eat? And I'm just like, no, I'm waiting on my food. Like, I think I remember having I had a shake, so I had my shake in my hand. I don't know if she thought I just ordered a shake, or I don't know what she thought, but I came back in the car and I sat down, and she's like, oh, like, what, like, you think we about to just wait for you to eat? And I'm just like, sis, no, like, I'm waiting for my food, because I knew, y'all, everybody was tired. I was tired, they was tired, everybody was tired. I just wanted to get my food. So she had an attitude about that, because she thought I wanted to wait for her to wait on me to eat. So I went, I got my food, I got back in the car, I eat my little my Wendy's or whatever, and we pull up to the Airbnb. Mind you, Gravy and her man is in the back seat with me, and then Biscuit and Day they in the front seat. When we pull up to the Airbnb, she takes the keys out the ignition. She looks back at Gravy and her man, and she's like, lock the door when y'all get out. She pops the trunk, she get whatever she need to get out the trunk, and then she goes into the house. So me, Gravy, and her man, we looking at each other like, damn, like, did y'all not put in with this rental car? Like, she not gonna offer to drop y'all off to y'all rental car, to y'all Airbnb? Like, did y'all not put in? So she didn't offer to drop them off nowhere, ask them if they was getting an Uber. Like, she didn't ask no questions, y'all. She took the key out of the ignition, and their sis went in the house. So I'm just like, damn, like, I kind of felt bad because Biscuit is my friend. Like, Biscuit and Gravy, they knew of each other because we all went to FAMU, but they weren't really like friends. Like, I'm just like, you making me look bad, because it's like how I introduced you to her and y'all treating her like ish. And we had all put our gas money into the rental. We had all paid like an equal amount. Like, if a rental was, I don't know, y'all, if the rental was $100, it wasn't. But if it was $100, we all put $25 in it, and we all put our gas in it. But she didn't even offer them to like use the rental or do anything. So at this point, I'm just like, damn, like, you really don't give a fuck about nothing, because you didn't even offer to take them home or whatever. So that happened or whatever. They call their Uber, they go home, and that's that. So I end up taking a nap. Later on that night, she had something else on the itinerary, and I went and I knocked on Biscuits and Day-Day's door, and I was like, hey, what time is dinner? Baby, why did I do that? Because sis was already getting ready for dinner. Like, sis had her makeup on, her hair laid. I'm just like, you wasn't gonna tell me y'all going to dinner? So she's like, yeah, me and Day about to go to dinner.
And
So I'm like, oh, okay. Like, when I say she flipped the tempo on me, she flipped it. So I'm like, all right. So you know me, when anything go left, y'all, I can't help it. I get on the phone, I call my bitch. As in my bitch, I mean Gravy. I call Gravy, and I'm just like, what y'all doing over there? Because her and they already about to go out to dinner. They didn't invite me. They already dressed. Like, I don't even have time to get ready. And I just felt like unwelcome. And I honestly felt like a third wheel. Like I ain't signed up for this. So I'm just like, what are y'all doing over there? So she's like, we not doing nothing. We thinking about going to get some food later. Why? And I'm just like, all right, like, I might as well eat drinks for dinner tonight again, because like she ain't invite me. And y'all, I did not feel comfortable going to get in an Uber. It was late at night, but it wasn't super duper late. I think it was like 9 or 10 o'clock. And then Gravy was like, oh, it's cool. You can come over here with us, and then we can all go to dinner together. And y'all know my fake ass. I'm just like, really? Like, are you sure? Like I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I didn't really want to impose on what they had going on, because although it wasn't like a vacation type of situation going on, it was a group thing. I just felt like a third wheel, so I didn't really want to impose on them. So I'm on the phone like this. I'm like, really? Like, are you sure? Like, you sure y'all don't want? She's like, yeah, we went to Ruth Chris last night and we enjoyed ourselves. We'll go ahead and invite you, girl. You can come with us. So, you know, I'm real happy now. Bitch, put her clothes on, get ready. I Uber over there, because Day and Biscuit had already left with the rental. So there was no point for me to ask them to drop me off. Plus, they had already made dinner plans without me. So I went over there, and I'm at Gravy house, and we just talking or whatever. I'm telling her how she was acting or whatever, how she basically was already ready for dinner. Like, basically, she didn't include me in dinner at all. So I'm just talking to Gravy about it or whatever, and she's like, dang, like, that's crazy or whatever, like, y'all. So we end up going out to, I don't know where we went. We went somewhere. I don't know, y'all. I don't remember where we went, but we went somewhere, and we ate real good. And by the time we got back to her Airbnb, we all took a Uber together, by the way, y'all. We took a Uber to the place, and then we Ubered back to her Airbnb. So by the time we got back to her Airbnb, it was like, I want to say it was like 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning. I told y'all that I had like Biscuit, that was my bitch. So I had her on social media. So I seen that her and Day they like were still out and about. They were in the rental car or whatever. I seen that it was up. So I called Biscuit, and I'm like, hey, could you come get me from the Airbnb? And she's like, oh, how did you get there? And I was just like, oh, I took an Uber. And she's like, okay. And I'm just like, okay. Like, the conversation got real quiet or whatever, and then click, like, she hang up on me. So I'm looking at Gravy, and I'm just like, did she really just hang up on me? So I call her back, y'all. The phone don't ring, like, it goes straight to the voicemail. You know how, like, when a person's phone is dead, or they got you blocked, or it'll, like, y'all know what I'm talking about. The phone went straight to the voicemail. So I called Day, and I know y'all thinking, like, how you got Day number? Because that's because we was all in a group chat, and his number was in there. So I called Day, and I'm just like, hey, could you pass the phone to Biscuit? Because for some reason, it's not going through. Like what's going on? So he's like, Biscuit said what you want. And mind y'all, I can hear her in the background or whatever. So she's like, who is that? Why is she calling you? Why is she calling you? Like, why she keep calling you? Like, ain't answer the phone for a reason. Like, I can hear her saying all of this in the background. So I'm just like, why is she saying that? Can you tell her to come get me? Because at this point, it's just like, baby, like, I put my money into that rental as well. It's mine as well as it's yours. Like, don't do it. Don't even do it. So I'm like, tell her to come get me. Like, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Y'all still out and about. It's not like they was in the bed, y'all. They was out and about in the rental car. I think they probably was, I want to say they was leaving dinner. Like, I don't know where they had went, but they were still out and about, y'all. I seen that they was out and about. So I'm like, yeah, tell her to come get me. And he's like, all right. She said, okay, we'll come get you. The phone hangs up or whatever. Probably like 2-3 minutes after that, I get a text. Bling. She said, why can't you just take an Uber? Why can't I take an Uber and you got a rental? I need to take an Uber and you got a rental and I need to take an Uber? So I call him immediately. I call him and I hear her in the back again. Who is that? Who is that? Who is that? Is that Asia? Is that Asia? Like, who is that? Like, why she keep calling you? And at this point, I'm mad. So I'm like, I'm calling because you're not answering your phone. Like, if your phone will go through, I would call you. So she's like, why can't you just take an Uber? And I'm just like, what you mean, why can't I take an Uber? It's 2-3 o'clock in the morning and you out and about and I paid my money just as well as you. Why can't you just come pick me up or whatever? So the phone hangs up again. And this is Day Day's phone. So at this point, I knew that she was hanging up the phone on me. So that happened or whatever. I ain't say nothing else. I didn't say nothing. I think I gave myself like 5-10 minutes. I cooled down. I really didn't say nothing at all. I think I want to say, I don't know if I called him back or he called me back, but I just remember somehow they end up agreeing to coming to get me. And I think they came and got me like 30 minutes later. Like, it was late as hell. Me and Granny, I remember me and her sitting in the living room at her in her Airbnb. Her man is in bed half asleep and I'm just sitting there waiting for her to come pick me up. She finally come pick me up, y'all. When I get in the car, like, she don't say that to me, I don't say anything to her. Like we dead, we not talking, like we not saying anything to nobody. So that happens or whatever. It's mad late, y'all. I go to bed, they go to bed, and this was the last day that Gravy and her man was gonna be there. I think they did like a Thursday to Saturday, and then me, Biscuit, and Day Day, we were gonna be there from Thursday to Sunday. Like, I think they left a day early or something. So that was my last day with them. So the next day or whatever, I wake up. And when I wake up in the morning, I already knew, like, at this point, I already knew I was going to have to do the rest of the trip by myself because she was already acting funny. Like, she had already switched up on me. So I wake up in the morning, I'm talking to my mama, and I'm just like, oh, yeah, this going on, that's going on. She acting real funny during the trip. You know, I'm letting my mama know everything that's going on. So I get ready to go outside the door, and y'all, to go to breakfast, and y'all, I'm locked in the Airbnb. And y'all probably like, Asia, how you locked in from the inside? I don't know if they do this all over Puerto Rico or if this is just an Airbnb type of thing. But basically, you have to have a key to get out the Airbnb and you have to have a key to get in. Like, to get in the Airbnb like a house, or you have to have a key, and then to get out, it like locks you from within. And I don't know if they knew this or remembered this or not. Well, I knew they knew this because we've been noticed that the first day that they checked into the Airbnb. But I don't know if they remembered. I don't know, y'all. So basically, I'm locked in the Airbnb. So I'm calling Biscuit. I'm calling her. No answer. Phone going straight to the voicemail. So that leaves me with no resorts but to call Day Day. So I called Day Day and I'm like, hey, like, where y'all at? And they're like, oh, we leaving breakfast now. And I'm like, leaving breakfast? Like, again, y'all, they ain't invite me to go to breakfast. They ain't do nothing. They just left, got up, and went to go get breakfast. And he's like, oh, we leaving breakfast now. We'll be back in a little bit. So I'm just like, y'all know I'm locked into the Airbnb, right? He's like, oh, no, we didn't know that you was locked in. So I'm like, all right, click, hang up. That's that or whatever. 30 minutes go by. They still not there. So I call him again. I'm like, hey, like, where y'all at? Like, I'm locked into the Airbnb. Like, and that was the day that we was actually leaving. Like, I think we had like a 3 or 4 o'clock flight. So I wanted to get breakfast and just do one last, you know, just to support Puerto Rico a little more before I leave. So I'm calling. And he's like, oh, yeah, we walking. We pulling up right now. Like, we pulling up right now. So they pulled up or whatever. She unlocked the door for me, but they didn't say anything. Like, no apology, no my bad, no nothing. Well, Day Day was talking to me like, I feel like during this whole trip, I feel like he was like a puppet under her. Like, everywhere she had to go, he basically had to go. Like, I don't know. I feel like they was one, they were like one unit during the trip. So, I don't know, y'all. It was weird. Like, he was talking to me, but once she started acting funny towards me, he really didn't want to get in between. Like, he barely was, like, talking to me or saying anything. So that happened or whatever. I'm locked out. I go to breakfast by myself. I think I end up going to the beach. That happened. Even though I been knew that she switched up and she started acting funny. I think, like, what happened? So before I left, I was just like, let me just try one last thing. Like, I know Aang did nothing wrong. Like, am I tripping? Did I say something? Did I do something? Like, am I doing too much? Like, I'm questioning myself. I'm just like, no, Aang did nothing. So let me go ahead and ask her, hey, do you want to catch an Uber with me? I'm about to catch an Uber back to the airport. Are y'all coming? Because this was like 2 hours before the flight departure. So she's like, I think, what did he say? This is why I said he was like a puppy, y'all, because I remember when I asked them this, like, in general. I said it out loud. I was like, hey, I called an Uber, or the Uber gonna be here in 10-15 minutes. Are y'all coming? He looked at her, and then she was just like, no, we're not coming. We'll catch our own Uber. So I'm like, all right. Shut the door, catch the Uber. I go to the airport, y'all. I'm at the airport the whole time. And when I get to the airport, I see them coming, like, probably 30 minutes later. She sits right across from me, but, like, on the other side of the boarding area. So I see her, she see me, she just eyeballing me. I'm eyeballing her, like, she not saying anything. She basically treat me like a stranger. So I'm just like, did we not come on this trip together? Like, I'm hella confused, y'all. So I'm at the boarding area. I'm just waiting. I'm scrolling on my phone. I remember they were supposed to board before me, but somehow her shit didn't scan. I don't know. Maybe it was karma. Her ticket wasn't scanning, so I ended up getting on a plane before her. So I seen them walking past my seat. She didn't say anything. Like, y'all, it was very awkward. So I told y'all we had a class together. So we get back to I think we flew into Orlando. We get back to Orlando. I don't know if I drove or if I took the bus. I don't know. Somehow I commute back to Tallahassee. And the next day on Monday when I go to class, I switched my whole seat. Like, before I used to sit by her in class. We used to sit by each other, or I used to sit one seat behind her. I moved to the front of the classroom because I didn't want to see Biscuit. Like, I didn't want to see her. So I just moved my whole seat, and y'all, I look mad crazy, but I was just like, no, I have to get back on here and finish this story time. Y'all, I forgot one of the most important details of the story. A few months later, after this vacation, I'm on Instagram and I'm strolling, and I see a picture of Biscuit and Day Day to get together. Like, they're dating. So that was the reason why the friendship ended. And y'all gonna just listen to the story time, put 2 to 2 together, and we gonna talk about it in the comment section. All right? Capiche? Capash? Good night, y'all. I just had to add this part in the story because I cannot believe I'm editing the video and I'm just like, wait a minute. I didn't tell them what put the story all together. So, yeah, y'all. Good night. That's pretty much the story time on how I lost. I don't even want to say lost. That's pretty much the story time on how a 3-year friendship ended. That's pretty much the story, y'all. And this story was a little boring. I'm not going to lie, but it's because it was just a weird story. Like, it was like the weirdest vacation. Like, y'all, the vacation was just super duper weird. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of the story time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in my next story time. Also, if you're interested in my lashes, these will be linked down in the description box below. I believe these are ice, y'all. So peace. See y'all in my next video.